Namaste and good evening, friends. A very warm welcome to our respected chief guest, Nobel Peace Laureate Shri Kailash Satyarthi ji, founder of Kailash Satyarthi Children's Foundation, Dr. R.A. Mashelkar, Chairman, Council of Advisors of the Jamnalal Bajaj Foundation, our awardees, Mr. Dharampal Saini, Dr. Lal Singh, Sister Lucy Kurian, and Mr. David Albert. Chairpersons, Mr. Dhirubhai Mehta, Dr. Anil Kakurkar, Dr. Firoza Godrej, and Ms. Anu Agha. Mr. Madhur Bajaj, trustee of the Jamnalal Bajaj Foundation. Mr. Shekhar Bajaj, chairman and managing director, Bajaj Electricals Limited, and distinguished guests to the 43rd annual Jamnalal Bajaj Awards ceremony. Unfortunately, Mr. Rahul Bajaj, chairman of the foundation, is unable to attend the function due to not being in the best of health. We will miss him. It is a special day as we are very glad to have you all here with us virtually to honor and celebrate the noble contributions of the Gandhian warriors, our awardees. We begin the function with a tradition. I invite Ms. Dhwani Pandya for the invocation.
वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहे जे पीड़ पराई जाने रे पर दुखे उपकार करे तोए मन अभिमान नाणे रे वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे सकल लोकमा सहुने वंदे निंदा न करे के नीरे वाच काच मन निश्चल राखे धन धन जननी तेनी रे वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे मोह माया व्यापे नहीं जेने दृढ़ वैराग्य जेना मन मारे राम नाम शू ताई लागे सकल तीरथ तेना तन मारे वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जी पीड़ पराई जाने रे
Thank you, Dhwani. I now invite Mr. Shekhar Bajaj, cousin of Rahul Bajaj, to kindly deliver the welcome address on behalf of Mr. Rahul Bajaj.
Ladies and gentlemen, as Mr. Rahul Bajaj is unwell, I am reading out his speech. My esteemed friend and today's chief guest, Kailash Satyarthi ji, my colleagues on the board of Jamnalal Bajaj Foundation, the exemplars, the recipient of the award this year, ladies and gentlemen, my apologies for not being physically present. I have not been in the best of health, and this is the best I could do. I seek your indulgence. At the same time, it is the magic of technology that one can be virtually present anywhere. It is my privilege to welcome all of you today, especially because we are gathering today after a gap of 2 years. Hopefully, we are out of the shadow of the epidemic. It has been a trying time for all of us and the world, and a timely reminder that we live in a fragile, interconnected world. I also remember the words of Acharya Vinoba Bhave when 60 years ago he coined the Jai Jagat greeting. There is but one world. How I wish we showed greater awareness of this fact in our behavior. I also remember my dear friend Sri Subbarao, who contributed so much to the youth of the country and as an advisor to the foundation. Though he died recently at a ripe age of 92, he was energetic to the end. I pay my homage to his memory, his endless positive energy and work. I am thankful to Satyarthi ji for agreeing to preside over the function today. We all know of his continuing commendable work, and if he is feeling awkward at being both a trustee of the foundation and a chief guest, then I would like to assure him that he is not the first. The late Justice Chandrasekhar Dharmadhikari ji created the precedent in 2020. I would like to introduce the recipient of the awards, the heart of today's function, but indifferent health forces me to be brief, so I will let others do this honor. But my salutation to all of you. You give us hope and courage. COP26 highlights the danger human civilization faces in the not so distant future. It will be, of course, need a major reworking of policies and initiative, and I commend the public commitment of the Indian government has made of being carbon neutral by 2070. This will require big changes in many areas. But our work in our development organizations and others whom we support tells us that with clarity of purpose and some resources, much can be achieved through private effort, in coordination with people and local government. Unless employment, temporary support for the poor, education, health and protection of the environment are addressed, it is likely that big objectives and plans will fall short in delivering the desired outcomes. It is said poverty is the biggest polluter. There are 748 districts in our country. I enjoin business of all sizes, especially big business, to cater to the public needs and public purpose of each of these districts. We are committed to make a difference in 5 of them. A major reason for our lack of development has been our best and the brightest wanting to run away and go abroad. This has been going on since 1960s. Since liberalization, India is the best country for Indians, all things considered. There's the Marathi extortion. Bhakta Kai, Samil Wah. Why watch, join in? That is what I would recommend to the better off section of our country. We must take inspiration from the work of awardees today. See what joining in delivers. Once again, thank you for being part of this event. The loss of not being there is all mine. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Shekhar Bhai. I now invite Dr. Arya Mashelkar, Chairman of Council of Advisors of the Foundation, to felicitate our chief guest, Shri Kailash Satyarthi. Thank you, Dr. Mashelkar. The Jamnalal Bajaj Foundation stands true to the ideologies passed on from Jamnalal Bajaj, our guiding face and inspiration. It is gratifying to see the silent crusaders doing their work with great impact and their own way in the remotest places. The award comprises a citation, a trophy, and a cash prize amount of rupees 10 lakhs. Now we commence the awards presentation. I request Mr. Dhirubhai Mehta, Chairman of the Selection Committee for the Award for Constructive Work, to read the citation honoring Mr. Dharampal Saini.
रत्नात्मक कार्य के क्षेत्र में विशिष्ट योगदान के लिए श्री धर्मपाल सैनी के सम्मान में प्रशस्ति पत्र। धर्मपाल सैनी एक साहसी तथा विनम्र सेवक का बचपन धार और सहारनपुर में बीता। शिक्षा प्राप्त करने के पश्चात रूपाखेड़ा गांव में जहां नई तालीम का विद्यालय चल रहा था, सैनी जी सम्मिलित हो गई। सन 1962 से 1990 का समय सैनिक के लिए भिन्न भिन्न घटनात्मक कार्यों में लगे रहने का समय था। इन 1975-76 गांव में लोगों को द्वारा विनोबा जी के आगमन, विचारों के प्रभाव और गांव में आए परिवर्तन को जानना सैनी जी के लिए प्रेरणादायी था। इन 1976 में माता रुक्मणी सेवा संस्थान की स्थापना की गई। आज संस्थान के 37 आश्रमों में लगभग 600 गांवों में रहने वाले 2500 तक बालिकाएं अध्ययन करते हैं। संस्थान आश्रमों के द्वारा नई पीढ़ी को शिक्षित करके हुए ग्रामीण परिवारों और समाज के लिए अंत्योदय से सर्वोदय का पोषक रहा है। श्री जमुनालाल बजाज फाउंडेशन रत्नाक कार्य के क्षेत्र में प्रशंसनीय योगदान के लिए श्री धर्मपाल सैनी के सम्मानार्थ प्रशस्ति पत्र और जमुनालाल बजाज पुरस्कार प्रदान करते हुए गौरव का अनुभव कर रहे हैं।
Thank you very much, Dhirubhai. It is my privilege to now invite our chief guest, Satyarthi ji, to present the award to Mr. Dharampal Saini, after which Dharampal ji will deliver his speech.
धन्यवाद धर्मपाल जी। ये वर्चुअल है इसलिए बड़ा मुश्किल है प्रेजेंट करना, लेकिन मैं हृदय से आपको ये सम्मान, ये अवार्ड प्रदत्त करता हूं जमुनालाल बजाज फाउंडेशन की ओर से। कृपया इसको स्वीकार कीजिए।
धन्यवाद। जमुनालाल बजाज पुरस्कार 2021 के गरिमामय आयोजन करता माननीय राहुल बजाज जी, चेयरमैन जमुनालाल बजाज फाउंडेशन, माननीय मीनल बजाज जी, ऑनरेरी डायरेक्टर जमुनालाल बजाज फाउंडेशन, मास्टर ऑफ सेरेमनी श्रीमान आदरणीय धीरज लाल जी मेहता, चेयरमैन सिलेक्शन कमेटी कंस्ट्रक्टिव वर्क, मुख्य अतिथि आदरणीय श्री कैलाश सत्यार्थी जी एवं उपस्थित अवार्डी जन, गण्यमान्य महानुभाव, सबको सादर प्रणाम। जय जगत। मेरा जन्म 1930 की 24 जून को जब हुआ, तब देश महात्मा गांधी के नेतृत्व में स्वाधीनता के सपनों को सत्याग्रही संग्राम के द्वारा इतिहास बनाने में लगा हुआ था। मेरा बचपन खेल की आजादी और पढ़ाई के अनुशासन में बीता। कक्षा 8वीं में सरकारी नौकरी नहीं, शादी नहीं, देश सेवा करने का संकल्प सहज भाव से हुआ। अपने व्याख्याता श्री विद्यासागर पांडे जी के उद्बोधन कि जैसा युवक होगा वैसी भारत माता होगी, इसने मुझे ज्ञान साधना में अग्रसर कर दिया। 1951 में विनोबा जी के भूदान आंदोलन से लगाव जुड़ा हुआ और मैं गांव में जाकर के सफाई, प्रार्थना इत्यादि कार्यक्रम करने लगा। इसी दौरान मुझे मार्क्स और लेनिन पढ़ने के लिए मिले, जिन्होंने मेरे सोच को प्रभावित किया। रामकृष्ण परमहंस, स्वामी विवेकानंद और राष्ट्रपति इब्राहिम लिंकन की जीवनी, विचार और कार्य ने मेरे स्वभाव और चिंतन के सशक्तिकरण में योगदान किया है। गीता से कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते, महाभारत के यह अर्थ शुद्धि सर्व शुद्धि, रामायण के नर यदि करनी करे तो नारायण हो जाए, और उपनिषद के जीवेम श्रद्धे सुतम तेन तत्तेन भुजिता मेरे प्रेरणा स्रोत रहे हैं। सन 1954-55 में एक छोटे से गांव रूपाखड़ा में नई तालीम के विद्यालय के द्वारा गांधी जी के सपने के स्वावलंबी ग्राम निर्माण में अपने ज्ञान, सेवा भाव और समय को समर्पित कर दिया। यह आदर्श गांव मेरे सार्वजनिक जीवन का जन्म स्थान है, जहां मैंने जनता से जुड़कर काम करने का अनुभव प्राप्त किया। सन 1960 में विनोबा जी इंदौर आए, उनके सानिध्य के लिए वहां पहुंचा। स्वच्छ इंदौर के कार्यक्रम ने इंदौर को सिर पर मैला ढोने की घिनौनी प्रथा से मुक्ति का पहला नगर देश में बना दिया। 1960 से 1976 तक भूदान, ग्रामदान, अस्पृश्यता निवारण, मद्य निषेध के शिविरों, सम्मेलनों और पदयात्रा में जुटा रहा। खादी ग्रामोद्योग विद्यालय, पंचायती राज प्रशिक्षण केंद्र, गांधी जन्म शताब्दी विद्यालय, भूदान यज्ञ जयंती, भू व्यवस्था समिति इत्यादि के द्वारा भूमि वितरण और आदिवासी सेवा में सामाजिक सांस्कृतिक ज्ञान से समृद्ध होता रहा। सन 1976 का 11 अक्टूबर मेरे जीवन का स्वर्णिम दिन है, जब संत विनोबा जी से माता रुक्मिणी सेवा संस्थान की स्थापना का आशीर्वाद लेकर उस समय के केरल राज्य से और बेल्जियम से बड़े बस्तर जिले में समावेशी शिक्षा के द्वारा प्रतिभा निखारना जो विनोबा जी का मुझे आदेश था, मेरी कर्मठता का संसार बन गया। आश्रमी विद्यालयों के लोकप्रिय करते हुए बालक, विशेष करके ग्रामीण बालिकाओं के बचपन संवारना और उन्हें तरुणाई में प्रवेश की राह प्रशस्त करना सचमुच में मेरे जीवन का बहुत ही नया अनुभव है। बस्तर में यथा स्थिति स्टेटस को और विकास के बीच वहां अशांति के वातावरण में भी शिक्षा से रचनात्मक रास्ते पर चलते हुए स्वच्छता, सर्वधर्म संभाव, महिला सशक्तिकरण, गो सेवा और बस्तर में एक बहुत ही आर्थिक सशक्त इमली आंदोलन, पर्यावरण प्रदूषण, इंद्रावती बचाओ अभियान, वृक्षारोपण, खेल कूद का विकास, कोविड-19 के दौरान डर के सामने अनुशासन और सहयोग की जागृति के अभियानों से जुड़ा रहा। इसमें गांधी विनोबा जी के सत्य, प्रेम, करुणा के गुणों से समस्या समाधान करने और अध्यात्म तथा विज्ञान को जोड़ने वाली सेवा में कभी हार नहीं मानने के संकल्प ने मुझे बस्तर के द्वारा भारत माता की सेवा करने का अद्भुत अवसर प्रदान किया है। मेरे जीवन की शैली ही बन गई कि मेरी कोई सफलता अंतिम सफलता नहीं है, मेरी कोई असफलता अंतिम असफलता नहीं है। मेरे पास सेवा के प्रयत्न सेवा के प्रयत्न, इसी राह पर चल रहा हूँ। धन्यवाद। जय जगत।
Your beliefs and actions have truly transformed the lives of the children and people of Bastar. Congratulations and thank you so much, Saini ji. I invite Dr. Anil Kakodkar, Chairman of the Selection Committee for the Award for Application of Science and Technology for Rural Development, to kindly read the citation honoring Dr. Lal Singh.
Thank you, Minal ji. Shri Kailash Satyarthi ji, chief guest of today's function. Shri Shekhar Bajaj and all trustees of Jamnalal Bajaj Foundation. Dr. Mashelkar, chairman of the advisory committee of Jamnalal Bajaj Awards, and all members of the advisory committee. Distinguished people whom we are decorating today with Jamnalal Bajaj Awards, ladies and gentlemen. It's my privilege to read the citation in honor of Dr. Lal Singh for outstanding contribution in the field of application of science and technology for rural development. Dr. Lal Singh took a tough decision to work in the voluntary sector to make meaningful use of his scientific knowledge. He established the Himalayan Research Group in association with like-minded professionals in the year 1997. In order to strengthen the livelihoods, biodiversity conservation, climate change resilience, and overall development of rural mountain communities, a basket of need-based technology models were developed in different parts of the northwestern Indian Himalayan region. They consisted of mushroom compost, cultivation of varieties of mushrooms, high-value medicinal plants, vermicomposting and fodder, solar energy use in domestic water and room heating, revival of native crops through linkages with tourism and household enterprises. An active member of the team, Dr. Maninderjit Kaur, founder secretary of HRG, has played a major role and is engaged in development of technology-driven solutions with special focus on women-related activities and in taking the HRG's initiative forward. HRG initiatives directly involve men and women groups and have reached more than 18,000 households across state of Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Ladakh, and Arunachal Pradesh. Dr. Lal Singh is of firm belief that capacity building of local communities through modern science and technology is the only way to achieve self-reliance and see the rural areas developing. Jamnalal Bajaj Foundation feels honored to present this citation and the Jamnalal Bajaj Award for outstanding contribution in the field of application of science and technology for rural development to Dr. Lal Singh. Signed, Dr. Mashelkar, Dr. Kakodkar, and Mr. Rahul Bajaj, 6 December 2021. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kakodkar. I now invite our respected chief guest, Nobel Peace Laureate Shri Satyarthi Ji, to present the award to Dr. Lal Singh, after which Dr. Singh will share his thoughts.
It's my privilege and pleasure to present this award to Dr. Lal Singh. I have read and heard a lot about his interventions in making not only the area where he works a better place, but the entire world a better place through his efforts and his innovations. Thank you, Dr. Lal Singh. I present this award with a lot of honor.
Nobel Laureate Kailash Satyarthi Ji, Shri Rahul Bajaj Ji, Chairman of Jamnalal Bajaj Foundation, distinguished members of the Jamnalal Bajaj Award Committee, other dignitaries, fellow awardees, esteemed guests, and all those who have joined us online. I accept with all humility and a deep sense of gratitude the honor bestowed on me by the Jamnalal Bajaj Foundation, which found my humble efforts worthy of the prestigious award. I am grateful for recognizing my modest contribution to help improve the quality of life of the poor hill people through simple technological innovations. The award is in fact recognition of the efforts of the rural communities inhabiting remote and difficult mountainous areas of Himachal Pradesh, with whom my organization, Himalayan Research Group, popularly known as HRG, has been working since the 90s. Mountain communities extended full cooperation and support to the HRG to translate its plans into reality in remote hill areas where people lack resources, skills, and basic infrastructure facilities. It is a long drawn out process starting from identification of problems, development and testing of technology to find lasting solutions, and finally ensuring mass adoption of the customized technology at the field level. It requires a sustained effort and continuous involvement and support of the rural community. Whatever little HRG has been able to achieve in enhancing rural living over the past 25 years is all due to support of the national and international agencies with active involvement and actions of the rural communities. They all are members of the extended HRG family and partners in all its endeavors. And I assure you that our journey will continue with more vigor and vitality. We are already at an advanced stages in further scaling up our interventions and expanding our footprints beyond mountainous regions of Himachal Pradesh. We always strive to keep things simple, acceptable, and easily adaptable. While working for technological innovations, our main guiding factor has been affordability. As mountain dwellers are economically weak and difficult to reach. At a professional level, I firmly believe that clarity and stability of thoughts, sincerity of efforts, and perseverance ultimately help to achieve the toughest goals. It has been a long journey started in 1997, the year during which I took the most difficult decision of my life to abandon all ideas of taking up a job and instead chart an independent course to put my knowledge and ideas as a scientist into practice to ameliorate the socio-economic conditions of rural communities in an environment-friendly manner. The result was the setting up of HRG, and it's changed the course of my life as well as of the many at the community level. It was full of struggle, but today I stand here with a sense of satisfaction and feel proud to be in the company of eminent personalities who has contributed much more in their fields. Here, I will not forget to remember late Dr. Sunil Agrawal, scientist F in the Department of Science and Technology, who persuaded me to apply for this award in 2018. He always backed our efforts in the implementation of different technology models with DST support of rural relevance. Unfortunately, he passed away recently due to COVID-19. My heartiest appreciation goes to my proficient team members who have worked hard with sincerity and purpose to deliver at the grassroots level. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you very much, Dr. Singh, for putting your knowledge and ideas into practice to enrich the people and environment in the mountain region. Padma Vibhushan Srimati Janki Devi Bajaj was not only a spiritual partner and dedicated wife of Shri Jamnalal Ji, but also a committed social worker in her own right. The next award was instituted in her memory. May I now request Dr. Firoza Godrej, co-chairperson of the selection committee of the award for the development and welfare of women and children, to kindly read the citation honoring Sister Lucy Kurian.
Thank you very much, Minal. To our chief guest, Nobel Peace Prize laureate Shri Kailashji Satyarthi. To Dr. Mashilka, advisor of our committee, chief advisor, Mr. Rahul Bajaj, Mr. Shekhar Bajaj, Mr. Madhur Bajaj, Meenal Bajaj, members of the Jamnalal Bajaj extended Parivar, and my fellow advisors on this journey. It really gives me great pleasure on behalf of our committee to read out the citation to be presented to Sister Lucy Kurian. A traumatic incident prompted Sister Lucy to realize that she could no longer be a silent spectator to the horrific violence and abuse against women. In 1997, Maher, which means Mother's Home, was founded to provide a safe haven for battered and destitute women. Since its founding, Maher has provided care and shelter to more than 5,000 children and 5,900 women. Sister Lucy bestows her warmth and love on the abused and the traumatized women, abandoned children, men, and the old and aged people in her care. 70% of Maher women have been rehabilitated thanks to her efforts. Residents who are not able to leave Maher contribute to the community's well-being. The interfaith principle and Sarva Dharma Sambhav has always been fundamental to Sister Lucy's working and contribution, which led to her setting up an interfaith association for service to humanity and to nature in 2017. Maher's work has been chronicled in many publications and featured in numerous videos, and a lot of it has been written by Maher's students. Sister Lucy's calling is reflected through her seva, which she is passionately committed to bring light and smile in the lives of those who reach out to her at Maher. The Jamnalal Bajaj Foundation feels honored to present this citation and the Jamnalal Bajaj Award for the outstanding contribution in the field of development and welfare of women and children to Sister Lucy Kurian, signed Dr. Mashelka, Dr. Mariama Verghese, Shri Rahul Bajaj, 6th December 2021. Congratulations, Sister Lucy, on behalf of all of us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Godrej. I'm once again privileged to invite our chief guest to present the award honoring Sister Lucy Kurian, after which Sister Kurian will share her thoughts.
Sorry, I could not hear. It was disconnected, but anyhow. So thank you so much. It's again my pleasure to present this award to Dr. Lucy. We all know that she has served humanity without considering any limitations, any boundaries of caste, creed and religions and sects and so on. And she has definitely advanced the value of Gandhiism and humanity. So I am very pleased to present this award to her.
Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Kailash Satyarthi, Nobel Peace Laureate. Chairman, Mr. Rahul Bajaj, Dr. R.A. Mashelkar, Council of Advisors, Board of Trustees of the Jamnalal Bajaj Foundation, and my dear friends and relatives who have joined me for this award function. People like you humble and motivate me to carry on my mission. What a joy it is to address you all. I am deeply grateful to receiving this prestigious honor to the divine energy. Earlier this year, in the midst of a global pandemic, many of you were with us as we joyfully inaugurated Maher's new office and the home for children that Bajaj helped Maher to build. It was a hopeful celebration in a dark and difficult time, and it demonstrates our shared belief in the power of our nation's future and the strength of our commitment in serving the people. In the earlier days of Maher, I walked from village to village, listening to the needs of the people and building trust. You cannot imagine my delight when I finally had enough money to buy a scooter, and how many more people and villages that made it possible for me to reach. Today, most of our staff's efforts are aided with the help of a motorbike. Villages look forward to their arrival. On the night I opened Maher's first home on the outskirts of Pune in 1997, I welcomed one woman with 2 children. Through the generosity of friends like you and the dedicated hard work of our 200 staff and staff members, today Maher provides food, shelter and clothing for over 1,000 children and 600 women and over 150 men daily. We now have 63 homes in 6 Indian states. Our education outreach programs have reached over 1 lakh Indians. There have been hard times, early days when I had no money and went to the market after the closing to pick up discarded vegetables and grains. The challenges of running an interfaith service organization as a Catholic nun with no money and no organizational support. Many people misunderstood my intentions. Yet, because of these experiences and many more, my faith in love, service, the divine, and the resilience of the Indian people grew stronger. While Maher has not yet been able to eradicate horrifying poverty I encountered when I arrived in Mumbai at the age of 14, from our village in Kerala, we have made a significant difference. Our work has unleashed the potential of street children and child laborers, many of whom now hold professional degrees, have happy, healthy families, and a number who now hold leadership positions in Maher. Our social work has freed women and families from the scourge of abuse, given hope to rape victims, and aged men left to wither on the streets. Our caste-free interfaith commitment to love is our religion has been hailed by leaders across India and honored the world, around the world. Maher children have studied and shared our story and mission of love, service in Europe, US, and in Africa. I convey my special thanks to people who believed in our mission to help during the pandemic. It is only because of generous and good people we were able to reach out to over 1 lakh people with food and food grains and ambulance services. On 5th February 2022, Maher will be celebrating its 25th anniversary of interfaith service. I hope with all my heart that you will join us as we honor all those who have walked with and who have walked with us, and that by walking together in the next 25 years, we may dream of having no homes like Maher needed in India anymore. Once again, I join my hands and I bow my head in gratitude for this prestigious award. My special thanks to the juries who having found me worthy for this award. I entirely owe this award to my Maher's committed team. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sister Lucy. You are a guiding star, leading their path to a purposeful life. I invite Ms. Anu Agha, Chairman of the Selection Committee for the International Award for Promoting Gandhian Values Outside India, to kindly read the citation in honor of Mr. David Albert.
Friends, Mr. David Albert gave up a promising academic career to become a student of Gandhi. He focused on two avenues of Gandhian thought and action, Nai Talim and community-based education, and the constructive program leading to Gram Samaj. Mr. Albert co-founded Friendly Water for the World, working with extremely poor and dispossessed communities in sub-Saharan Africa and India. It currently trains people in 7 core technologies which communities implement. These include rainwater catchment systems, interlocking stabilized soil brick making, rocket stoves, biosand water filters, microflush toilets, perma gardens, and soap making. The primary focus on social technology with projects and programs being carried out in Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Ethiopia, Afghanistan, Mexico, Bolivia, Congo DRC, and India. Mr. Albert says this is inner work, and his outlook has been in identifying and practicing the basic elements that lead to liberalization. The Jamnalal Bajaj Foundation feels honored to present this citation and the Jamnalal Bajaj Award for the outstanding contribution in the field of promoting Gandhian values outside India to Mr. David H. Albert. Congratulations, Mr. David Albert, and wish you all the very best.
Thank you very much, Ms. Aga. It is my honor to invite respected Shri Kailash Satyarthi ji to present the award to Mr. David Albert, after which Mr. Albert will share his thoughts.
Thank you. Once again, I feel privileged to present this award to Dr. David. As we know that Gandhi, his life, his mission, his thoughts are beyond the time and beyond the boundaries. And someone like you have been trying to advance those values, and through applications, that is much more important. So we are pleased to present you this award. Thank you.
Dhanyavad, thank you. I am accepting this award on behalf of the last man and the last woman across the globe. I am accepting this award on behalf of the victims and survivors and refugees from war and civil strife, including the 7 million people who have died in the 26-year war in the Congo, by far the largest war in the world. I am accepting this award on behalf of all those who are survivors of gender-based violence, rape, and sexual assault, especially those from places where rape is employed as a weapon of war. I am accepting this award on behalf of the 84 million refugees, men, women, and children who have been forced from their homes and their countries this year alone. I am accepting this award on behalf of those suffering from malaria and other diseases, especially waterborne illnesses that afflict so many. I am accepting this award on behalf of the child slaves who are mining coltan so that our cell phones and computers should work, and mining cobalt for our electric vehicles, which drip the blood of Black African child slaves from their batteries. I am accepting this award on behalf of the hungry and tired, who are experiencing the collapse of subsistence farming and extraordinary long walks to water, and whose homes are destroyed by floods as a result of climate changes that they played no role in creating. I am accepting this award on behalf of those who, because of race, class, caste, religion, disability, sexual orientation, those who are marginalized, dispossessed, and disempowered, who are voiceless, and who lack even the most basic control over their own lives. The Gandhian imperative is not about charity. It is about building a social order where means and ends reconcile with each other, where our grappling with truth, satyagraha, generates a power to build new men and new women, able to work together in meeting our material needs while liberating us in the service of each other and the earth restored. Here is the Gandhian program. Those of you familiar with Gandhi and with the work of Jamnalal Bajaj will easily recognize it. We walk alongside so that villages will attain the knowledge to build houses that are better than mud and straw huts, without fired bricks that destroy the local environment, and without materials being transported from far away. Villages will learn how to take responsibility for their own water, both in capturing it, distributing it, and making sure it is clean enough to drink, and for better sanitation. Villages will learn how to adapt to changing climate conditions through informed subsistence agriculture and an end to importing food. Villages will learn to respect women and value their contributions. Villages will recover their traditional knowledge of potential health interventions. Conflicts will be waged nonviolently, and mediation of conflicts becomes the norm, from the village level to internationally. Human rights will be taught and respected from the local to the global level. Global corporations will be held responsible for their activities, including provision of reparations and restoration. Caring about the environment and the global climate will be the norm. A culture of sharing will be encouraged, and villages will be reinvigorated to address local problems as a community. And finally, we will make friends. This is my Gandhian program. There is a place in it for every single one of you. My organization, Friendly Water for the World, embodies many of these imperatives within our own constraints. People working together are our most important resource. Real work is not only in the water-related and other technologies we have to offer, as proud as we are of them, but in social technology. Finding ways for all of us to engage each other in reimagining ourselves, our villages, our communities, our states, our nations, and our world. It doesn't cost anything except our lives. To all of you gathered here, to the board of the Jamnalal Bajaj Foundation, to my friends and colleagues around the world, including those I have yet to meet, I tender my greatest thanks. I thank all of those who've come before and those who will come after in our collective journey toward truth. And to the marginalized, disempowered, and dispossessed of the world, who are likely our greatest teachers. Jai Jagat.
Thank you very much, Mr. Albert, for imbibing the values of self-realization in the people and for being their ray of hope. We once again congratulate all our awardees with a huge round of applause. I now invite Dr. R.A. Mashelkar, Chairman of the Council of Advisors of the Foundation, to address the gathering.
Thank you, Minal. Honorable Chief Guest of the awards function this evening, Shraddheya Shri Kailash Satyarthi ji, Shekhar Bhai Bajaj, Madhur Bhai Bajaj, Minal Bajaj, distinguished members of the Advisory Council, proud awardees, rather I would say awardees, who have done us all proud, distinguished invitees, ladies and gentlemen, again, my very warm welcome to you all to our coveted 43rd Jamnalal Bajaj Awards function. Indeed, this great evening of celebration. Today's function is unique. There are many firsts to today's function. After establishing Jamnalal Bajaj Awards, the award ceremony was held without a single break for around 4 decades. 2020 saw an unprecedented break in our awards due to an unprecedented pandemic. This was the first ever. We are resuming the awards in 2021 this year in a virtual mode due to the pandemic, yet another first for us. And there is another first. Our beloved Rahul Bhai could not personally make it to the function today. His charismatic presence, as also his ever so thoughtful, ever so effervescent speech was always the highlight of each of our functions. Rahul Bhai, thank you for your inspiring message, but we sorely missed you today. I'm sure you will be back with us in 2022 function with full vigor and infectious energy that we always associate with you. I want to extend a very warm welcome to our chief guest, Kailash Satyarthi ji. He was our chief guest in the year 2014 when Kailash ji became the first India-born Indian, and we are very proud of that, to win the Nobel Peace Prize. They say all good things have to be repeated. So we requested Kailash ji again to be our chief guest, and he graciously accepted. It will take me hours to describe Kailash ji's amazing life and amazing work. I won't do that. It is most aptly summarized in just few powerful words in his inspiring Nobel Prize citation that his Nobel Prize is for struggle against the suppression of children and young people and for the right of all children to education. Again, a very, very warm welcome and a most grateful thanks, Kailash ji, for gracing the awards function today. Our awards carry a great prestige, great value, not just the monetary one, but the value that is associated with the very name of Jamnalal Bajaj ji, a great humanitarian, a valiant freedom fighter, a compassionate philanthropist, and a passionate social reformer. Jamnalal ji was an ardent Mahatma Gandhi follower. He practiced Gandhian ethics in every sphere of his life, political, social, business, and also personal. Therefore, the awards are given to those exceptional individuals like the ones today who are committed to inclusive development in line with Gandhian constructive work program. The Gandhian principles continue to remain important today. Why do I say this? Because more the things change in India, more they remain the same, at least in some cases where human dignity is at stake. Mahatma Gandhi had said, removal of untouchability is one of the highest expressions of ahimsa. But what is the grim reality today? Take what Chandrasekhar and his family belonging to Chennadasar community had to go through very recently in Miyapur village in Karnataka. Chandrasekhar had gone with his family to seek blessings for the birthday of his 2-year-old son. His family was standing outside the Hanuman temple. His 2-year-old son left his mother's hand and just ran inside the temple. Do you know this Dalit family was fined ₹25,000? And for what? For the purification of the temple. So more we change, more we remain the same. That's why Mahatma Gandhi principles are important. Mahatma Gandhi had said, down with the monster of caste that masquerades in the guise of Varna. The caste-based discrimination still continues. As per the Oxfam report, which I read recently, just 37.2% of SC households and 25.9% of SC households had access to non-shared sanitation facilities, compared to almost twice, 65.7% for the general population. More significantly, the Gandhian principles have become even more important now in the post-pandemic era than they were before the pandemic. Let us see why. The coronavirus pandemic hit the humanity very hard. We witnessed painful loss of millions of lives and livelihoods. The entire world got into a reset mode. The rapidity and scale of change was phenomenal. The poor and the vulnerable were worst hit, and India was no exception. The Oxfam report shows that India's large informal workforce was the worst hit, as it made up 75% of the 122 million jobs lost. There were devastating consequences for 40-50 million seasonal migrant workers that we are all witness to. With the sharp rise of inequalities, pursuit of Gandhian engineering that creates the magic of access equality despite income inequality is essential, not just optional. As we know, as a global leader in social reforms, our Chief Guest Kailash campaigned against child labor in India and advocated the universal right of children for education. What the pandemic has done is to reverse several years of work in just few months in the area of child labor and children's education. For instance, I saw the recent UNICEF report on the impact of COVID-19 crisis on the lives of children in India that came out just after the World Children's Day on 20 November 2020. It said COVID-19 is child rights crisis. Child rights crisis. The report says that over 290 million children are out of school, and sending their children into labor is a way of coping for many, many families. Overall, the community-based monitoring, meaning the CBM findings, show that about 1 in every 4 mothers reported that they were not sure about their child going back to the school after the pandemic. It is very unfortunate that families are resorting to negative coping mechanisms, including child labor and early marriage. Another report published a couple of months ago says that pandemic-induced school courses have resulted in catastrophic consequences for schools, especially for those in rural areas, with a mere 8% studying regularly online and 37% not studying at all. In this background, we recall the 2019 Jamnalal Bajaj awardees for application of science and technology for rural development, Mr. Mohammad Imran Khan. A decade before the pandemic hit us, he had strongly believed that e-learning, digital learning is a platform for learning without discrimination. And it will be a boon for the rural students to access and explore new horizons in education and learning colleges. He created over 80 educational apps to provide quality content of learning, access to education, to engage school children, to reduce school dropout rate, bridge the digital gap. These apps have been huge help during the pandemic for the rural poor. We are so proud to have chosen an awardee, and before the pandemic hit, who has made a big difference after the pandemic. Now I turn to our distinguished awardees for 2021 and warmly congratulate them. Dr. Lal Singh has shown how application of science and technology, one can create community-oriented, environment-friendly technology with models that would give high returns to rural mountain communities. Sister Lucy Curian has given our society's most vulnerable a new lease of life, be they the unfortunate traumatized women or children or older people. Dharampal Saini ji has shown how a radical social transformation can be achieved in a far-flung tribal region, Basta, and how Antyodaya can lead to Sarvodaya. And Mr. David Albert has shown how the powerful instrument of social technology can be used to review communities if only one identifies and practices the basic elements of Gandhian philosophy. Distinguished awardees, you are 4 exemplars, 4 role models, 4 icons. You have made a huge difference. We offer our warmest congratulations and grateful thanks to you all. Finally, in this new digital world, a new term has been coined. It is called augmented humanity. The idea in augmented humanity is to empower individuals with new breakthrough digital technology, like wearables, for example, so that they can perform to their limit in many walks of life. I am convinced that the crux of real augmented humanity lies in imparting Gandhian values, not just the variables, external variables. And I'm happy and proud that our Jamnalal Bajaj Awards are doing precisely this by honoring those who preserve, who propagate, and who practice Gandhian values. So finally, once again, we salute and applaud our 2021 awardees for their magnificent contribution to the creation of the much needed, I would say, real augmented humanity, indeed augmented humanism, as well as help us create a better world for not just few, but for all, and that too with the timeless Gandhian values. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Mashelkar, for always enlightening us with your deep insights. It's my privilege to now invite our respected chief guest, Nobel Peace Laureate, Shri Kailash Satyarthi ji, to deliver his keynote address. I think his camera is frozen.
सबका आग्रह है और मेरा व्यक्तिगत आग्रह है बहुत कि आप इस तरह कहीं चुपचाप बैठकर अपना संदेश नहीं भेज सकते। आपको हमारे बीच में जल्दी से स्वस्थ होकर आना होगा और हम सब आशा करते हैं कि आप फिर से हमारे बीच में जल्दी होंगे और उसी सकारात्मकता के साथ, उसी ऊर्जा के साथ और उसी नवीनता के साथ हमारे बीच में होंगे। आदरणीय शेखर भाई, मधुर भाई, बहन मीनल जी, आदरणीय मशेलकर जी, बाकी जो हमारी समितियां हैं इनके अध्यक्षगण और हमारे जो आज के अवार्डीज हैं जो सम्मान प्राप्त करता है। जैसा आप सुन रहे हैं कि ये दूसरा अवसर है जब मैं इस कार्यक्रम में मौजूद हूं और पुरस्कार दे रहा हूं और सही मायनों में मैं बहुत विनम्रता के साथ ये काम कर रहा हूं, क्योंकि जब आप लोगों की जिंदगी के बारे में, आपके कामों के बारे में सुना जाना और अभी आपकी बात सुनी तो सचमुच मुझे लगा कि आप सब प्रेरणा के स्रोत हैं। और जब चारों तरफ इस तरह की बातें, इस तरह की घटनाएं, इस तरह की बुरी खबरें, डर, असंतोष या असहिष्णुता का माहौल हो, उस वक्त आप जैसे जो गांधी के विचारों को आगे बढ़ाने वाले हैं, गांधी के कामों को आगे बढ़ाने वाले हैं, उनको हमारे बीच पाता हूं तो लगता है कि एक दीपक, एक मोमबत्ती, एक लाइट, एक रोशनी की किरण हमारे बीच में आ रही है और इसके लिए मैं फिर से आपको बधाई देता हूं। हम जानते हैं कि जमनालाल बजाज अवार्ड सिर्फ एक अवार्ड नहीं है, बल्कि एक ऐसी परंपरा है और उस परंपरा को चलाने वाले जमनालाल बजाज जी के परिवार के दूसरी, तीसरी, चौथी पीढ़ी के लोग हैं जिन्होंने उन मूल्यों को न केवल जीवित रखा बल्कि उन मूल्यों को आगे बढ़ाया और दूसरों को प्रेरित कर रहे हैं कि गांधी जी के वो मूल्य आगे बढ़ें। ये सोच पाना भी मुश्किल है कि जिसे स्वयं गांधी जी अपना पांचवा पुत्र कहते और मानते थे, उनके पुत्र और फिर उनके पुत्र और पौत्र जिस परंपरा को आगे बढ़ा रहे हैं वो केवल फिलैंथ्रोपी की, वो केवल समाज सेवा की बात नहीं है, बल्कि दुनिया भर में जब हम कहते हैं कि व्यापार, उद्योग जगत में नैतिकता की बहुत जरूरत है, समाज के हर वर्ग में जरूरत है, हर तबके को जरूरत है, राजनीति में भी, समाज में भी, यहाँ तक कि धार्मिक संस्थाओं में भी जिस नैतिकता की, मॉरलिटी की जरूरत है, अगर व्यापार जगत से जुड़े हुए लोग, उद्योग जगत के नेता उसको आगे बढ़ाते हैं तो ये दुनिया को बेहतर बनाने का सबसे असरदार प्रयासों में से एक है। ये काम आप लोग आगे कर रहे हैं, इसको आगे बढ़ा रहे हैं, ये कहने की जरूरत नहीं है। मुझे स्मरण है कि जिस वक्त मैं स्वयं नोबेल शांति पुरस्कार लेने जा रहा था तो मुझे एक दुख था कि मेरे जो सबसे बड़े भाई बहुत गांधी के सिद्धांतों, विचारों पर अपना जीवन जीते थे, उनका स्वर्गवास हो चुका था। लेकिन मेरी पहली ही मुलाकात में जब मैंने राहुल भाई से बातचीत की, वो इसी पुरस्कार की खातिर हमें आमंत्रित करने के लिए दिल्ली हमारे घर आए थे। तो जो सच्चाई, जो ईमानदारी, जो समाज के प्रति सरोकार, जो निष्ठा गांधी के मूल्यों और सिद्धांतों से आके किसी व्यक्ति में साकार होती है, जब मैंने उनमें देखी तो थोड़े दिन बाद मैंने उनसे आग्रह किया कि मैं अपने बड़े भाई के नाते आपको अपने साथ उस कार्यक्रम में शरीक करने के लिए ओस्लो बुलाना चाहता हूं। उन्हें सहर्ष स्वीकार किया और मैं जानता हूं कि जब वो वहां थे उस कार्यक्रम के दौरान, तो उनके चेहरे पर वही भ्रातृत्व, वही गर्व, वही भावुकता, वही हर्ष उल्लास नजर आया जो कोई भी अपने भाई से अपेक्षा कर सकता है। चूंकि ये मेरा व्यक्तिगत अनुभव है, इसलिए मैं यहाँ साझा कर रहा हूं, और ये तभी संभव है जब हम उन मानवीय मूल्यों के साथ जिएं जो गांधी जी ने हमें सिखाए और उससे पहले भी हजारों हजारों साल से हमारे ऋषि मुनियों ने सिखाए। अभी आदरणीय माशेलकर जी ने बहुत बुनियादी कई सवाल उठाए हैं, कई बातें की हैं, और एक तरीके से हमें आगाह किया है कि महामारी के कारण जो समस्याएं पैदा हुई हैं, जिनके दूरगामी परिणाम सबको भुगतने पड़ेंगे, उसमें सबसे ज्यादा शिकार बच्चे, महिलाएं और समाज के उन तबकों के लोग हो रहे हैं जिनकी बात अभी डेविड एल्बर्ट ने की। When David Edward was giving his short speech, he said that he is going to receive this award on behalf of the last person of society, the last man and last woman. He also listed a number of categories and people who are most deprived, who are most marginalized, who are most needy, and they need humanity, human dignity, human freedom, and opportunity, equal opportunity in the world. जो बात उन्होंने कही, ये सब चीजें जो माशेलकर जी ने कहा उससे जुड़ी हुई हैं। एक बात मोटे तौर पर हम समझें कि ये जो वैक्सीन का सारा मामला है, हर रोज हम कहीं ना कहीं देखते हैं और जो आंकड़े आते हैं वो बहुत चौंकाने वाले हैं, डराने वाले हैं। भारत में हमारे वैज्ञानिकों ने, हमारी सरकार के प्रयास ने, हमारे उद्योगपतियों ने बड़े पैमाने पर वैक्सीन बनाए, जरूरत पड़ी तो बाहर से मंगाए, और उस सब का परिणाम हुआ कि हम ऐसे बहुत सारे लोग फुली वैक्सीनेटेड हैं। हम लोगों को दोनों टीके लग चुके हैं। अगर आप देखें तो दुनिया के जो संपन्न देश हैं, समृद्ध देश हैं, उनमें रहने वाली करीब 65-66% जनता को एक या दोनों टीके लग चुके हैं, या तीसरे भी लग चुके हैं। तो 2 में से 1 व्यक्ति लगभग वैक्सीनेटेड हो चुका है, टीके लग चुके हैं। लेकिन अभी अफ्रीका की बात आई बीच में। जो अफ्रीका के देश हैं, जो और लैटिन अमेरिका के कुछ देश हैं, जो निर्धन देश हैं, दुनिया के निर्धन देशों की हालत यह है कि वहां 12 में से 1 व्यक्ति को एक वैक्सीन लगी है। डबल वैक्सीनेशन की बात नहीं हो रही। तो हम अनुमान लगा सकते हैं कि द वर्ल्ड हैज ऑलवेज बीन फेसिंग डिस्क्रिमिनेशन, inequalities, injustices, but this pandemic has exposed and excavated all those injustices and inequalities which were always prevailing in our society. And this is one example I'm giving. मैं बच्चों के बीच में काम करता हूं और मुझे ये कहते हुए बड़ी चिंता है कि अगर दुनिया ने बहुत मुस्तैदी के साथ प्राथमिकता के आधार पर सबसे उपेक्षित और वंचित बच्चों को उनके अवसर नहीं दिलाए, उनकी पढ़ाई के लिए, उनकी दवाई के लिए और उनके रखरखाव, उनकी भलाई के कल्याण के लिए, तो 2022 के अंत तक, अगले साल के अंत तक दुनिया में करीब करीब 46 मिलियन यानी कि 4.5 करोड़ से अधिक बच्चे बाल मजदूरी में चले जाएंगे, अतिरिक्त बच्चे चले जाएंगे। अभी 16 करोड़ बच्चे बाल मजदूरी कर रहे हैं। ये संख्या घटती रही है, पहले 25 करोड़ से घट के 15 करोड़ हुई है, फिर 16 करोड़ हो गई है इस साल। लेकिन अगर हम लोगों ने प्रयास नहीं किए तो अगले साल वो बढ़ के दैट इज गोइंग टू रीच ए फिगर ऑफ मोर देन 200 मिलियन अगेन। तो ये बहुत चिंताजनक बात है। 24 से 25 मिलियन, 2.5-3 करोड़ बच्चे दुनिया में स्कूलों में अब नहीं लौटेंगे, वेश्यावृत्ति में धकेले जाएंगे, गुलामी में धकेले जाएंगे, वो बच्चे मजदूरी में धकेले जाएंगे, छोटे छोटे अपराधों में लिप्त कर दिए जाएंगे। इस तरह की हालत उनकी होने वाली है। करोड़ों लोग बेरोजगारी और गरीबी के शिकार हो रहे हैं। ऐसे में जिन विचारों को लेकर आज हम ये कार्यक्रम कर रहे हैं, उनकी जितनी जरूरत आज है शायद उससे पहले कभी नहीं थी। कभी कभी ऐसे मौके आते हैं जब दुनिया अपने आप को एक परीक्षा की घड़ी में पाती है। And Mashelkar ji rightly pointed out that there was some talk that it is not, this pandemic is not simply a health crisis or an economic crisis. This is the crisis of welfare of children or childhood. And I will go one step behind that, and I would say that this was there, but now this is going to be as the crisis of entire civilization if we are not act as one humanity, as one human being now. ये वननेस की जो जरूरत है वो पहले से कहीं ज्यादा जरूरत हो गई इसकी। जिन लोगों को ये अवार्ड मिले हैं, ये दर्शाता है कि सामाजिक जागरूकता, सामाजिक चेतना, सामाजिक पहलें, सामाजिक प्रयास और सामाजिक परिवर्तन के काम बहुत जरूरी हैं समाज में, पहले से कहीं ज्यादा जरूरी है। सामान्य तौर पर जब विकास होता है तो लोग सोचते हैं कि ये सारा काम सत्ता कर लेगी, जो भी सत्ता में जहां भी बैठा है दुनिया में। संसाधनों के बगैर ये काम नहीं हो सकते। लेकिन सत्ता और संसाधनों से परे समाज में स्थायी सस्टेनेबल चेंज, सस्टेनेबल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन लाया जा सकता है। ये गांधी जी ने हमें सिखाया और इसी काम को लेकर हमारे ये जो अवार्डीज हैं आज के, वो साबित कर चुके हैं। मैं यहाँ पर ऐसी 4 बातें सोचता हूं जिनकी आज सबसे ज्यादा जरूरत है और मैं समय समय पर ये कहता रहा हूं। पहली बात है करुणा का वैश्वीकरण, ग्लोबलाइजेशन ऑफ कंपैशन। हमने साधनों का, हमने व्यापार का, बाजार का वैश्वीकरण कर दिया। हमने जानकारी का, सूचना का, टेक्नोलॉजी का वैश्वीकरण कर दिया। हमने उत्पादन का, वितरण का वैश्वीकरण कर दिया। ज्ञान का वैश्वीकरण भी हो रहा है। लेकिन इस सब के बीच में जहां पर एक बहुत सिकुड़न आती जा रही है हमारी मानवीयता के अंदर, उसके लिए जरूरी है कि हम करुणा का वैश्वीकरण करें, ग्लोबलाइजेशन ऑफ कंपैशन। दूसरी चीज इस पेंडेमिक से हमें सीखनी है, वो है कि हम एक दूसरे से इतने ज्यादा जुड़े हुए हैं, पहले से ही हमेशा से जुड़े हुए हैं, लेकिन पेंडेमिक हमें सिखाता है कि देयर इज नो प्रॉब्लम और नो सॉल्यूशन कैन बी एड्रेस्ड इन आइसोलेशन, इन साइलो। The world is so interconnected, but the world is so interdependent on each other. We have to learn this from our neighborhood, and we have to learn it in the geopolitics as well, in economies and everywhere. इसलिए मैं कहता हूं कृतज्ञता का एक सप्लाई चेन बने। We are sitting here I'm addressing to you, you are talking, you are receiving the award virtually. This was possible due to so many people, a long chain of contributors who have contributed in our lives. जिस कमरे में मैं बैठा हूं, यहाँ बिजली जल रही है, ये कमरा सुरक्षित है हमारे आश्रम के अंदर, वो मैंने नहीं बनाया। जिन लोगों ने बनाया है, मुझे उनके प्रति कृतज्ञता का भाव अब आना चाहिए। जिन लोगों ने जो लोग सत्ता में बैठे हैं, जिन लोगों ने उद्योग जगत में महारत हासिल की है, सफलताएं हासिल की हैं, जो लोग पढ़ लिख कर बहुत बड़े एकेडमिशियंस और वैज्ञानिक और समाजशास्त्री बने हैं, वो केवल अपने परिश्रम से नहीं बने हैं। ये सच है कि उनकी प्रतिभा और परिश्रम है, लेकिन बहुत सारे लोग, आज हम बैठे हैं, खाना खाने के बाद मैं यहाँ बैठा हूँ, थोड़ी देर पहले मैंने भोजन किया, तो भोजन बनाने वाले, पकाने वाले नहीं, बल्कि गांव देहातों में, खेतों में, खलिहानों में जिन्होंने वो भोजन उगाया, मुझे उनके प्रति कृतज्ञता का भाव आता है। अगर हम जिंदा हैं, अगर हम तरक्की कर रहे हैं, तो किसी ना किसी के कारण ये संभव है, और दिस इज ए लॉन्ग चेन। So when we talk of supply chain of production and distribution, let us think of supply chain of gratitude. अगर हम सुबह से शाम तक देखें तो कितने लोग हमारे लिए जीवन में कंट्रीब्यूट करते हैं, उनके प्रति कृतज्ञता का भाव। तीसरी चीज है कि हम लोगों ने we have created what we call the network of things now in this modern technology. सब चीजें एक दूसरे से जोड़ने के लिए हम लोग, हमारा सामान, हमारे जो उपकरण हैं, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स के, कंप्यूटर्स के, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस के, इन सबको जोड़ने के तरीकों से बना के नेटवर्क ऑफ थिंग्स बना दिया। लेकिन लेट अस लर्न हाउ टू क्रिएट द नेटवर्क ऑफ रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, म्यूचुअल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी। वी हैव टू फील रिस्पॉन्सिबल टू ईच अदर। ये उत्तरदायित्वों का ताना बाना, उत्तरदायित्वों का नेटवर्क हम बनाएं तो शायद हम बेहतर सुरक्षा में जी पाएंगे। ये पेंडेमिक से हमें सीखने की बात है। और चौथी चीज मैं कहता हूं कि लोग विविधताओं में बहुत कई बार भरोसा नहीं करते, सम्मान नहीं करते। इंद्रधनुष के 7 रंगों को एक रंग के नहीं बनाया जा सकता। जो 7 रंग हैं, उसी के कारण इंद्रधनुष की शोभा है। एक गुलदस्ते में कई तरह के फूल होते हैं तो उसकी शोभा होती है। हमारी जिंदगियों में अलग अलग विचारों के, अलग अलग आइडियोलॉजीज के, अलग अलग धर्मों के, अलग अलग पूजा पद्धतियों के, अलग अलग भाषाओं के, संस्कृतियों के लोग, अलग अलग राष्ट्रीयताओं के लोग जब मिलते हैं, तब जाके ये मानवता बनती है। ये एहसास हमें अब और ज्यादा होना चाहिए महामारी के बाद, महामारी के कारण। तो विविधताओं को हम नकारने के बजाय उनका सम्मान करें। दैट्स व्हाई व्हेन वी टॉक ऑफ एल्गोरिथम, वी लिव इन द वर्ल्ड ऑफ एल्गोरिथम। आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस इज ड्रिवन बाय दैट। तो एल्गोरिदम अगर बनाना है जो कि विविधताओं को अलग अलग डेटा के आधार पर ही नहीं, वो एक टेक्निकल चीज है, लेकिन हमारी जिंदगियों में हम एक विविधताओं का सूत्रीकरण करें, उनमें जो चीजें हैं उनको जोड़कर ऐसा सूत्र बनाएं जो समाज के लिए बेहतरी ला सके। ये प्रयास हम लोग कर सकते हैं। तो मैं ये महसूस करता हूं कि ये चारों बातें, ग्लोबलाइजेशन ऑफ कंपैशन, सप्लाई चेन ऑफ ग्रेटिट्यूड, नेटवर्क ऑफ रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज and the algorithm of diversities, they will help us in making this world a safer and better place. हम शांति, हम सस्टेनेबिलिटी और समग्र विकास या समित विकास, इंक्लूसिव डेवलपमेंट नहीं कर सकते तब तक जब तक कि हम एक दूसरे के प्रति जिम्मेवारी और करुणा के भाव से आगे ना बढ़े। आज आप लोगों की मौजूदगी हमें ये सिखाती है। जिस वक्त धर्मपाल सैनी जी अपनी बात कह रहे थे कि 1954-55 में उन्होंने नई तालीम
I think his camera is frozen again. So what do you want to do?
का शुरू किया।
No, Kailash ji is actually mute. Huh?
Yeah, sorry about it, and that is again the technological glitch. So हम फिर से के साथ मिलकर और एक बेहतर भारत का निर्माण करेंगे, बेहतर दुनिया बनाएंगे। और मैं अपेक्षा करता हूं कि जो सदाशयता भारत की सरकार ने और भारत के उद्योगपतियों ने दिखाई कि दुनिया के गरीब देशों में वैक्सीन पहुंचाने की पहल की, वो बहुत जरूरी है, क्योंकि अभी भी हम महामारी से आजाद नहीं हुए हैं। इसके दूसरे वेरिएंट्स आ रहे हैं, दूसरे म्यूटेशंस आ रहे हैं, तो इसलिए हमको मिलकर करना होगा। हम में से सबके अंदर वो क्षमता और प्रतिभा है। हम लोग वी आर बोर्न विद अनलिमिटेड potential, power and possibilities, because our God cannot be so meager to give us birth with the limited resource of possibilities and potential. We are born with divine powers, each one of us. I can just sum up with one short story. When I was invited to give my acceptance speech on the dais of Nobel Peace Prize in Oslo, I lost my papers, my prepared points. And then I suddenly remembered a story which I read sometime in my childhood. And it goes like that. There was a heavy fire broken out in jungle. All animals and birds and everybody was rushing for a safer place, leaving the jungle behind, including King Lion. And Lion noticed that there was a tiny hummingbird flying straight towards the flames. And he was shocked. And then he shouted, "What are you doing? Going to commit suicide?" She said, "No, sir. I am going to extinguish this fire because I was born and grew up in this jungle." He was surprised, more surprised. And then he asked again, "How come? How would you do it?" Then she replied, "Sir, look at my beak. I am carrying a drop of water. I am doing my bit. I am doing my bit," she said. And the rest is the story, history. Dear friends, each one of us has that hummingbird inside us. We have to do our bit. We can do and we will do. And I am so proud to say that all of you whom I can see on this screen virtually, they have done their bit and they have proven that the hummingbirds are around us and our jungle, our India and our world is safe. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Satyarthi ji, for making this occasion so very special with your blessing, spirit, and words of reality and hope. Our foundation is honored. Thank you. Before I invite Mr. Madhur Bajaj, trustee of the foundation, to present his concluding remarks, let me invite you all to the virtual lobby for which a new link has been sent, and the resource center after the function to know more about our awards and the heritage. And on behalf of the Jamnalal Bajaj Foundation, let me wish you all a very happy, healthy, and peaceful New Year. Thank you. Shri Madhur Bajaj.
Respected Shri Kailash Satyarthi, respected Dr. Mashirkar and friends. The show must go on, and it is you, dear viewers, who have made this possible. Kudos to you all. But let's face the fact that a tiny, though treacherous creature which the naked eye cannot even see, and if you assemble them from around the world, they would probably fit into a test tube. And to think that the greatest minds of our planet could not tame it or give it a knockout punch truly should humble humankind. Each one of us has been impacted in one way or another directly or indirectly. The jury is still out whether it was an accident, a slip by a lab in Wuhan, or a transmission from another species, probably bats to humans, or some nation's intentions to conquer and dominate the world sans weapons. Perhaps we will never know the truth. I've heard that many centuries back, it was predicted that the Third World War will be fought without weapons. Could it be Nostradamus? Nevertheless, the deaths that have occurred due to this scourge is many times more than the combined number of deaths that occurred during the World War I and World War II, both of which were fought with the latest weapons available at that time. Friends, if we cannot produce the magic bullet to wipe them out, at least what we can do is to keep them away from us as much as possible by following the COVID protocol and, most important, getting vaccinated. Well, these guys continue to mutate and are not going to surrender so easily. And their mutation will keep all of us guessing. India has given well over 1 billion jabs. Hope these crazy creatures do not make the current vaccines redundant. Well, we have to be optimistic. Like always, humankind will triumph over this pandemic also, and we shall return to a new normal. It is rightly said that the only way to command nature is by obeying it. So let's not be arrogant or complacent and not let our guards down even for a moment to let these slimy creatures get at us. It is heartening that in these circumstances, our 4 gallant awardees continue their noble task with proper precautions. For their courage and resoluteness, a never-say-die attitude, and passion for their mission, let's put our hands together. And what to say of our chief guest? His work has deeply impacted the lives of innocent children and women who are being trafficked regularly. You can imagine how dangerous his work is as it takes away the income of many. He has faced many inconveniences and threats. He has even bled. But he stands steadfast to his cause so that the children and women of our country can live a wholesome life. Just like the awardees, his quest does not falter even in these circumstances. Sir, we all bow down to you and will support you in whatever way we can. Pujya Kailash Ji, just like we can track the movement and exact location of the trucks via the satellite, why can't we consider tracking these innocent victims? Our sincere gratitude also to the trustees, advisory council chaired by the doyen of innovation, Dr. Mashelkar, the 4 selection committees, the media, Dreamcast agency, and all those involved for hosting this event online, and all of you for joining us in this event. You will be pleased to know that the total number of applications received till date are 6,681, that covers 28 states and 4 union territories in India and 69 countries abroad. While the total number of awardees are 162 from 21 states in India, the top 3 states having the highest number of awardees are from Maharashtra, 32, Gujarat 15, and Tamil Nadu 12. And there are 18 foreign countries, wherein USA tops the chart with 9 awardees, followed by France 4, and UK, Indonesia, and Japan 2 each. I know that good work is going on in northeastern states of India, but we are not getting many applications from these states. I hope this position changes. Once this happens, we will be satisfied that India is covered adequately. Esteemed brothers and sisters, do vaccinate, follow the protocol, and be safe. Good luck. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Madhur Bhai. Everyone, please enjoy. I appreciate everybody being here and everybody, all the audience who is seeing us. Thank you so much for your patience and for being there for us. And everyone, please enjoy the lobby area where we can also, there's a selfie booth where with some of our dignitaries you can take a selfie. And plus there's a resort center, the brochures, etc. So please do enjoy the evening. And thank you once again to everybody. Thank you.
Well done, Meera.